Hello and welcome to the channel. This is Steel City Knives. Right, I'm back and hopefully I'll get a bit more consistent now. I'll pull my personal stuff at the end because I want this to be a personal channel, but some people just come here for the content. So what we're doing today, we're going to do a video on, this is a response to Uncommon EDC. I'll show you the video that he did here. This is Jake, brilliant guy. I've known him ever since I've sort of been on YouTube. He's helped me out with videos in the past and all sorts of stuff. Just a really nice, approachable guy. I consider him a friend of the channel, definitely. And he did this fantastic video showing his advertisement knives. Now, this, to me, strikes me as a quintessential open tag. This is the open tags back in the day that I fondly remember, where he's shown some of his advertisement knives out of his collection, and then it bounces from channel to channel, and then everybody gives their sort of take on it. Now, I've got something that I want to show, and that's why I wanted to do a bit of a response. So on my channel, hopefully soon, I'm going to be starting to show some of my cutlery books, and I've got one designated for advertisement knives, and it's this one here, and we'll be having a little look at that later on in the video. Now, not everybody's really interested in cutlery books, but I really want to get people buying them and using them. They're a brilliant reference tool. They are brilliant for the collector. There's specific ones, and then there's ones just loosely based on collecting in general, but they're fantastic, and some of them are really affordable. Don't get me wrong, I've got some really expensive ones, but some are brilliantly priced and just really do add a different level to collecting and your general thoughts and feelings surrounding cutlery. Right, so without further ado, let's get on with looking at some of these knives. So I haven't got many, but ever since getting that book and watching sort of Jake's video and things like that, I have started to look out for them. And I think they have a bit of a stigma sort of advertisement knives, being a bit cheap and naff, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I like a cheap knife anyway, but these are really well made, these Sheffield pieces here. I know Victorinox do a lot of sort of advertisement stuff, or you can find a lot of advertisement knives if you're a Victorinox fan, but there are a lot out there. They are usually really well priced and they're fantastic. And I think there's something about advertisement, especially sort of older advertisement. If we show some here, some sort of quintessential advertisement, there's something really nostalgic about it. I know a lot of people have like signs and almost photos and things like that. There's something about that old vintage antique advertisement. I don't know, it really does sort of pull on the nostalgia. They used to put a lot of time and effort and artwork into it, and I love them. There's something about them. Right, let's have a look at a few that I have here. So obviously I've got a couple of Sheffield ones to show you. This is a nice piece, and I'll just move these out of the way while we talk about this. So in that book that we'll go through in a minute, they sort of categorise it, and one of them is actually sort of seeds or sort of aimed at the sort of agricultural side of things, which I suppose go hand in hand. I'm a bit of a gardener, and that's what I use my knife quite a lot in that respect. And I think a lot of gardeners do it. It's sort of a very common tool to use as a knife. So to do advertisement for, say, this is a seed company, makes sense, really. Now, this is a brilliant little piece. And again, didn't cost me a great deal. I think I've shown this on the channel before. It's loosely based on a Stockman, but instead of the spay blade, you have this brilliant sort of bottle opener and flat screwdriver, or could be used as a little bit of a pry bar. But yeah, just a fantastic little, got a nice little walk and talk on it. We've got this nice pen blade and then a nice clip point. Now, with advertisement knives, and I think this is what Jake found, that sometimes it's hard to find the maker who made them. So again, it's brilliant for the collector because it gets you thinking. I had a bit of a guess of the ones that were made by Jake. Bit unsure who would make this, but it's not a bad little knife. It's actually put together very nicely. So, and I've just noticed that these have no pins on this. That's the first time I've noticed that. And then this is, are they riveted or are they pinned? But let's have a look. But nice knife nonetheless. So that's the company there, Trojan, which is an American company that makes seeds. Right, let's move on to the next one. Right, I'll show you some Sheffield pieces now. Now, I have found that the Sheffield ones that are found on the second-hand market are really well put together and brilliant knives made by some absolutely fantastic companies. And this is a George Iverson, fantastic company that's still going, owned by the Egerton Group currently, just changing hands at the moment, going to Durham Duplex. This is their very famous stamp of a violin there. There we go, G. Iverson. But yeah, fantastic little knife. It really is. And this is for a distillery. This is for Beg Distillery in Edinburgh. A bit worn, but I always love, and that's what I mean with this sort of really sort of vintage or advertisement. Look at the script on there. Look at the font. I love that sort of style. They're just, they always seem so sort of nostalgic and really well put together, but it is, and it's got such good little walk and talk. Make sure I don't cut myself behind the camera here, but you listen to this. Look, it's got a little cutout, tapered cutout. It's got hidden tangs here. I can't think there's an actual term for that, but you listen to that. Such fantastic walk and talk, and I love, especially older knives, they took such pride in it. They used to stamp every blade, and you can see there again, you've got the George Iverson with the little violin, but the walk and talk on this, it's just fantastic, it really is. I do need to lower this kick though, because I think the tip is a bit, yeah, it just comes up a little bit. So we'll just probably lower that kick, but a nice little knife to carry. It sharpens up like a razor. Might need a bit of a sharpen now, but try not to cut myself. But look at that, it's a nice little, fantastic little carry. And then this one I'm really looking forward to showing you because it's so unique. So again, this is for a whiskey. This is DCL whiskey. Love that stamp in there. This is done by John Watts, which was a brilliant company, no longer going. So this is a distillery in Edinburgh. Where was that? I think that's based in Edinburgh as well. Is it Beg? Let's have a look. Yeah, sorry, Glasgow. So we've got Edinburgh and Glasgow here. And that is John Brigg Limited Distillery. And this is the distillery in Edinburgh. But let's have a look at this here. So there's their stamps. Now this is so... Now I love the shape of it anyway. The shape is absolutely fantastic. So unique. But if we have a look at the blades, and this is the brilliant thing about this one. Again, it's got a little cut out for the... We have one stainless that is stamped fruit. And again, listen to the snap on this. For such a little tiny knife. And then we have one carbon steel blade, as you can tell from the patina. So John Watts there, Sheffield. Brilliant company. And again, listen to this. Just fantastic. And that's what I mean. These are so cheap and affordable to find. Excuse me, a bit of gunk. Needs a good old clean. But yeah, not had it look very long. But yeah, we've got one carbon. Let me put them up a bit so we can have a good look. I'll cut myself. Here we go. So yeah, one fruit and stainless, not blade, and one carbon blade. So very unique and different there. But brilliant knife. Right, let's have a look at some more. So you can't talk about advertisement knives without talking about Victorinox, because I'm sure they've done their fair share of advertisement knives. Now, this is one that I didn't necessarily think I was... So I actually bought this thinking it was just plain black A-locks, and I actually bought it from somewhere in Europe that were selling these at a very affordable price. What is this? A cadet. So this is a black A-locks cadet. And that's what I thought, it was just going to be plain black. And then it came with this, EDC Cooperative, which is a group over here in the UK. I actually saw them at Sharp Show. I'll show you a bit of footage of their table. And it's a group that's in the UK. It's quite an established big group, really. And they did a bit of an award thing, I think, within their group at the Sharp Show. A brilliant group, I'm sure, to be a part of. I like to think I'm part of the Slip Joint Soy group as I'm on his Discord, and I love that Discord, honestly. And I've had a bit of a break away from it since having my third child, but I'm looking forward to getting back on there. We've had a few new people join, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. But this is a very similar sort of thing or group in the EDC community over here in the UK, and I do love their branding. Really, and they seem like a great bunch. What I saw of them at Sharp Show, but they've etched this on the blade. So I've indirectly bought some of their merch here, but I thought that's a nice touch and something that's brilliant, and that Victorinox obviously offer or they do. This is a brilliant one that I got from my mate Retro Stu. I actually fit these motor gearboxes at my work. So I saw that he had this one, and he gifted me this, which is very kind of Stu, and it's one of my favourites. It's an actual Spartan. So yeah, love this. So yeah, Victorinox have a lot out there on the second-hand market of sort of advertisement knives. Right, let's have a look at that book. Right, so let's talk about the book then. So, this, like I said before, this is going to be something I'm going to do on my series. This is the one that's going to be the guinea pig, so it'll start us off. I never thought it would be on an advertisement book, but this is a fantastic... I mean, if you're somebody that likes collecting advertisement knives, or you've got a little sub-collection, or it might be the sole thing that you collect, this is such an invaluable resource, and it's such a good read, it really is. So I'll show you the contents now, and this is what I was talking about, how it breaks it down into sort of categories. There is a miscellaneous sort of bit that goes into all other sort of bits and pieces, but one thing that you do start to pick up on a lot when you start collecting cutlery books and things like that is the authors themselves. And if I show you now, this is about the author. So this is a guy called Richard White. And again, authors to me are quite important. They're very modest guys, and I've seen some of them on podcasts and things like that. They don't sort of class themselves as experts in the field, but they are. They study cutlery. They're looking at old advertisement. They're looking at historic parts of cutlery and sort of filling in the pieces really and putting it all together. And one guy that I have sort of a massive amount of respect for and absolutely love his books and his work is a guy called Neil Punchard, and I'll be mentioning him a lot in the upcoming videos. One, because he's on a brilliant podcast. It's probably, I would say, the best podcast for traditional cutlery lovers, which is the Catch Bit Show, which I absolutely love. I mentioned it before as Stephen Cocker's been a guest on there, but it's just a fantastic podcast anyway. It has some brilliant guests, really does have some fantastic guests on there. But Neil Punchard is one of the hosts on there, along with people like Mike Moran, who's a custom maker over there in America. But Neil Punchard's done some fantastic books, and I hope to collect all of his work. I just recently bought the Boker book that he was a part of, which is a fantastic resource. Obviously, we're going to be doing the Ian Rankin sort of video, but Neil Punchard did a brilliant podcast on the Barlow, and I'm going to be referring to that quite a lot on the Catch Bit Show. So again, it's just things to add to the hobby that just really does bring a lot more out of the hobby itself. But they're experts in the field. They really are. And this is Richard White. So, and what a lot of them have in common is a lot of them have worked for the same sort of magazine. So a lot of these magazines, even though magazines are, again, they're a bit old hat now, everything's going on to like a digital version, some of them are still going. And one of them that is a brilliant, brilliant magazine is Knife World Magazine. Now, they have a YouTube channel as well, and some of the videos are absolutely fantastic and so good to watch. I'm sure they've got a lot of subscribers, but people that are new to the hobby, it's a good place to start in places like this, or get a book and really, because I consider myself as a pretty much a greenhorn when it comes to the collecting and knife collecting in general. So, but a good place to start is reading, these experts, or watching some fantastic videos on YouTube channels like that. So, right, this is the contents of the book, and as I said before, they sort of broke it down Richard's broken it down into sort of categories. He has got a bit for sort of a miscellaneous part of the book, but just some fantastic. So what I'll do, I'll just sort of briefly scroll through it, and then you can have a look at some fantastic knives. And that's what I mean. I think back in the day, I think now these days, especially, people think of sort of advertisement knives as being quite cheap, but as you can see here, there's some fantastic pieces that are brilliant quality, done by some fantastic makers. One thing I really did enjoy about this book, and all books really, is I love having a look, and you can see many knives that you've probably seen on YouTube, or that fellow YouTubers have got, or collectors have used. There's one in particular I can always remember watching this video on the George Washington knife. I think Tobias did a video on that. It was a fantastic video, but that knife's in here. There's this came on the market, and I'm really, it's a Camilla Streamline. Kongi had one of these earlier on in the year. I really wish I'd picked that up now, but a fantastic knife. And then right in the back of the book, they've actually got some of the older sort of display cases that they used to use when selling knives in sort of hardware shops and things like that, and they're just brilliant. I'd love to have something like that and have a full collection. It just that's a collector's dream, isn't it? But yeah, got some fantastic brands and cutlery in this book. But yeah, I won't ruin the book if anybody wants to buy it. It's a very affordable book. I think I picked this up for about £15 on Amazon. But yeah, you can pick them up, this book especially, really cheap. It's about the size of an A4 piece of paper. But yeah, one thing for me with cutlery books is the pictures and the knives that they show on there. So it's not heavy reading. There's brief descriptions of the knives, but it just does. It goes into a lot of the different knives. Oh, I've just seen a Spratz made in England, sort of like a dog grooming knife. I've seen one of them actually on the second-hand market recently. That's a fantastic piece. But again, there's little hidden gems in books like this, and it really does, it will help you out. And it's fantastic when you actually get something yourself that is in some of the cutlery books, and I'll be showing a few that I've picked up that are in cutlery books in the future. Right, that's all from me, trying to get back into the swing of things. Feel a bit rusty on this one, but I hope everybody's doing okay, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers.